between the photographer and the subject is important, and how do you approach and interact with your subjects? Are there any sort of techniques?
Yeah, I mean, for me, the rapport is super important, and I recently have been thinking that if there's any art to what I do, it's in the actual going out and having the experience of finding people and interacting with them. And that the photographs are, in a way, just sort of a fragment or a shard of that interaction. So they're just documents of something that's gone on before, which you can't see, but has led up to that. So to me, and that's why I do it. I take pictures to get out of the house and meet people. Because if I didn't take pictures, I just like stay in this room the rest of my life. You know, it's so I need some reason to go outside, and the reason is to go out and to bump into people and to interact with them and to figure out in really short periods of time, 15 or 20 minutes, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes an hour, depends on the person, how busy they are and what kind of rapport we have. Just sort of try to pick up on their juju and what they're about, and then somehow try to incorporate bits of them into the picture or bits of the circumstance into the picture, but still have it look like me. So I kind of want it to look like them, and I kind of want it to look like me. So to me, that's has been my modus operandi for probably the last 10 years. And how do I do it? Again, this might sound immodest, but I think that there's, like, I don't know how I do it. I just go up to people and I start talking to them, and I think there's something in my approach that people seem to trust. For instance, with the crack addicts, sometimes I'll meet a crack addict that I've never met before, and they'll tell me stuff that they wouldn't tell their counselors or their parole officers. Well, there's lots of things you wouldn't tell, but about their histories and stuff like that. And I think it's just something about me being non-judgmental and just being there in the moment with them. And I think that there's some kind of, this sounds really egotistical. I think there's some kind of power I have when I go out and meet people to actually connect with them through the camera, to sort of hook into them. I do a lot of I pay for all my personal work by doing commercial work, and I was photographing a real top-level civil servant named Kevin Page a while ago, and I took about 12 pictures of him. Just sort of, we stood him there, took 12 pictures. We loaded them into the computer, and then I pulled one up and I looked at it and I told him what kind of person he was by looking at the picture, and it blew his mind because almost everything I said was, and I'd known this guy for like 5 minutes, and I looked at the picture and I told him about his personality, and he couldn't fucking believe it. His jaw dropped. He was a little afraid of me at that point, because it's like, whoa, this guy kind of maybe sees too much. So I think that there is that aspect to it, and you have to be totally honest when you approach someone. If you're not honest, they'll know. If you're not genuinely interested, they'll know, and they'll shut you out. But when I'm there, that's the only thing I want to know about. I was in Florida doing a shoot for AT&T a while ago, and we had a half a day off, and we were in Tampa, and I went into a neighborhood in Tampa and met all these families and photographed them, went into their houses and stuff. And when we were flying home, the owner of the ad agency that was down for the shoot, I was telling him all the stories, and then afterwards I showed him the pictures, and he, in this half day off, had gone and looked at boats. Boring. So the next year we're down doing the shoot again, because it was an ongoing campaign, and he sort of thought he was a photographer. So he, rather than we had a bit of time off, rather than go look at boats the second year, he went into neighborhoods and tried to take pictures of people, and no one would let him take their pictures. And it was because he didn't mean it. It was because he only did it because I did it. So people can tell. Plus he was kind of a smarmy Englishman, but